Some time ago, a guy that lives in a state that looks like a giant oven mitt decided to start his own podcast. He's cooler than you. His favorite pizza topping is pineapple because he knows it makes you angry. This is CuJo's Corner. Hello, everyone. It's me, everyone's favorite short king, Justin Crumley, back again with another edition of CuJo's Corner. Got a pretty great show for you guys. Let's not waste any time. Let's just get right into it. We got some Michigan football to talk about. We're gonna rap about the Pats for a little bit, and gonna get right back into Michigan. We're going to make a little Michigan sandwich here. You know, we're going to start off with some Michigan. We're going to end with some Michigan. Although this ain't going to be about football. It's actually going to be about softball. But we'll get to it. But first, I'd like to start the podcast off by asking everybody, how are you doing out there? You doing okay? I hope so. Okay, so no more delays. Let's get right into it. So, Michigan football started a couple of weeks ago. I'm not going to go deep into the games against Colorado State and Hawaii. Honestly, Michigan did exactly what they were expected to do. They broke their foot off in both Colorado State and Hawaii's asses, and they just kind of took care of business. The story of Michigan football for the past couple weeks has been the quarterback battle. And I've thrown my hat in on this one. Now, if you guys remember, I was a Cade McNamara guy. I thought, okay, Cade's done nothing to lose the job. He wins games. Yeah, he's not athletically gifted. He's not anything too special, but he's a capable quarterback, and he wins games. And I mean, he helped get us a Big Ten title. I'm not gonna say like, oh, he got us a Big Ten title. He had some great games last year. But a lot of Michigan fans always kind of teetered on the whole thing, like, oh, well, he's a middle-of-the-road quarterback. JJ McCarthy is way better. I was not one of those guys until now. Now, I'm going to kind of eat my crows a little bit on the... Eat my crows. I'm going to kind of eat some crows. Hi, I can't talk. I'm going to eat some crows on this a little bit. Now, in my defense, I did also say that Harbaugh needs to pick a starter, and if McCarthy is that much better than McNamara, then start him. So, judging by these last couple weeks, now it's official. JJ McCarthy has won the quarterback battle, and it's really not hard to see why. I mean, Cade McNamara looked kind of stiff against Colorado State. Some of his throws weren't all that great. He looked a little bit panicked. And, I mean, honestly, there was a throw he had that, in all honesty, should have been a pick. And by the skin of luck, it wasn't. You know, I don't know what I just said, but whatever. It wasn't a pick, and he was lucky. McNamara just did not look comfortable against Colorado State. He got pulled. McCarthy came in, chucked 4 passes, completed all 4 of them, ran for a 20-yard touchdown. He actually ran for like 50 yards in that game, I believe. I don't have the stats in front of me, but McCarthy had a great game against Colorado State, and he had a pretty good game against Hawaii. He only threw, I think, 12 or 15 passes, something like that. He had, I think, 2 or 3 touchdowns. Again, don't have the stats on me at the moment. But McCarthy looks way more comfortable. I mean, I think it's McCarthy's team at this point, and I'm just glad this is over. And, you know, they got UConn this weekend. I'm not really expecting that to be I'm not really thinking that that's going to be a hard game. I think they're going to roll UConn pretty easily. Um, but we'll see. As for my thoughts on how this whole quarterback thing has gone on, honestly, I think Harbaugh. You guys know this by now. I think Harbaugh has handled this pretty terribly to this point. And look, going forward, I think like you've named JJ McCarthy the starter, going forward, he should be the starter. That's it. Full force, full stop. Um, no more of this two quarterback thing. I think look, you name McCarthy the starter. He looked better than McNamara. I think he earned it. I think he earned it, and I think you go with him. And if I'm being honest, I think McCarthy could bring a different dynamic to Michigan's game. Now, from what I've gathered about him over the offseason, yes, he was more athletic than McNamara, but he made a lot of. He was pretty loose with the ball, so to speak. So that was kind of the other reason I personally preferred McNamara myself. Was the biggest thing above all is your quarterback cannot make mistakes. And McNamara didn't make mistakes. He was a very good quarterback, very clean. Definitely the epitome of a game manager quarterback. And I thought that was perfectly okay for Michigan. I thought for the offense that Harbaugh ran, that was perfectly okay. But now, things looks like they're moving forward with McCarthy. And look, I'm excited to see where it goes. I've been reading this book about the New England Patriots called The Dynasty, and they talked a little bit about Brady's time at Michigan and how he was competing with Drew Henson, I believe I think it was his junior and senior year, and it kind of made me think about the current situation at Michigan going on now. You have a guy like McNamara, who's, I'm not going to say he's like in the same vein as Brady, because knowing what we know now that Tom Brady would eventually grow to become, yeah, that's a tough one to match up to. But McNamara, I think it is safe to say that McNamara kind of is in that same kind of class. Is like not a lot of. He's probably not going to get drafted to the NFL. He's not a quarterback that will like dazzle at all with any kind of athleticism, but he finds ways to win games. He's incredibly intelligent, and for all intents and purposes, he's a good quarterback. And Drew Henson, much like JJ McCarthy, was kind of the hot shot, the 5-star, the guy everybody wanted to see. He could run, he was athletic, and all this other stuff. So, it is kind of interesting how history is kind of coming back around. I just kind of felt the need to point that out. So yeah, I guess going forward, McCarthy is going to be, excuse me, McCarthy is going to be the starter. I really don't have any gripes with it at all. Yeah, and you guys go ahead and let me know in the comment section below what you think about it. And we're going to go on and move on to our next topic here. We're going to go ahead and talk about the New England Patriots. So they lost on Sunday to the Miami Dolphins, their season opener in Miami. A place where New England has had absolutely no luck at all. For as long as I can remember, they have been absolutely terrible in Miami. And boy, oh boy, did they not show up for this one. They ended up losing 20-7. I don't even know what to say. The offense looked, now, okay. So the story here was the offense. How was Joe Judge and Matt Patricia's debut as the co-offensive play callers gonna go? And while I don't think their play calling, there was anything particularly wrong with it, I definitely think there's a lot of problems in this offense. And they, for starters, they couldn't get a run game going at all. There was barely any adjustment for that. The defense played really well. So I got really no gripes. The defense did everything they could to try to keep the game manageable, but this offense just looks absolutely inept under Patricia and Joe Judge. Um, Now, I'm not going to overreact and, sit here and say, like, oh my God, this is going to be terrible. Ooh. I do think there needs to be some adjustments made with the run game, and, the offensive line needs to protect Mac Jones a little bit better. But I can see something coming together here. Now, like I said, the play calling wasn't terrible. I didn't have any issues with the play calling from Patricia and Joe Judge. My problem was really just like the lack of any kind of attempt to adjust and adapt in the game at all, to Miami's blitz, to their air attack kind of stuff. I mean, there was just almost no. It just didn't seem like this team's offense was trying to find the words here. It just didn't seem like the offense was clicking at all. Now, from what I gather, they are running a new scheme, and there's a lot of bumps in there, so fine. Again, I'm not gonna panic. I'm not gonna overreact. But oh boy, there definitely there's some kinks that need to be ironed out for sure. Um, I believe their next game is against Pittsburgh, if I'm not mistaken. I actually haven't looked at their full schedule in a long time. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up. Pretty sure they are playing Pittsburgh on Sunday. Let's see. Yep, they're playing the Steelers. They go to Pittsburgh, and they're actually 2-point favorites in this game. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah. So again, I'm not going to overreact. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, like, oh my God, oh, this is going to be bad, oh, they're going to suck, oh. It was one game. It was against Miami, in Miami, a place we have not been able to win at in a while. I honestly, off the top of my head, I can't remember the last time we won in Miami. It seems like we lose there all the time, but, yeah, I mean, look, week one in Miami, they lost. It's not the end of the world, but definitely a must-win game for Sunday because they're 0-1. Now, I know I just said, like, oh, I'm not going to overreact, and I'm not. But we cannot fall to 0-2 and expect to do anything as far as, like, make the playoffs, which, I don't know, it's going to be tough. The AFC is already stacked. In this kind of AFC, you don't want to fall behind. You don't want to fall behind. You definitely don't want to start 0-2. It drastically cuts your chances at making the playoffs. I think last year, no team that started 0-2 made the playoffs. So if the goal is to make the playoffs, starting 0-2 is not a very good start. But this team ultimately is still kind of rebuilding and retooling here and there. So honestly, I think we're okay. And yeah, not going to downplay it. This Sunday is a must-win game against Pittsburgh. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Alright, guys, and we're going to move on to the last topic at hand. It is a Michigan topic again. Now, it's not football, but it is Michigan athletics related. So, in case you guys haven't heard, I'm actually very late to the party on this by like a couple of weeks. Michigan softball coach Carol Hutchins announced her retirement after 38 years at Michigan, being Michigan softball coach. And I overheard them talking about it on the radio, and they listed off her accomplishments and started debating on if she's the best coach in all of Michigan. And it piqued my curiosity, so I looked up her, her accomplishments and everything she's done. A little quick Google search. I didn't do like extensive research here. I think it's a pretty fair thing. I think it's a pretty fair argument to throw her in as like the greatest coach in all of like Michigan sports. Although that'd be an interesting list to put together. I think she certainly would be top five for sure. Now, as far as Michigan athletics goes, before I give my stance, I'm gonna simply throw the question out there: is Carol Hutchins the GOAT of Michigan athletics? As far as coaches go, is she the greatest coach in Michigan athletics? I certainly think so. Now, as I said, she was at Michigan for 38 years. She is the most. She has the most wins of all athletics coaches. Michigan Jesus Christ. She has the most wins of all Michigan athletics coaches with 1,707. Her overall record being 1,707, 551, and 5. But yeah, she's got the most wins. So that's a good start. But these are not hollow, empty wins on bad teams. No. These, I don't know if these are included, but here's the accomplishments. She won the Women's College World Series Championship in 2005, Michigan, obviously. She's got 22 Big Ten regular season championships, 10 Big Ten tournament championships, 18-time Big Ten Coach of the Year. She's a member of the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association's Hall of Fame, a 9-time NFCA Regional Coach of the Year, and a 2-time NFCA National Coach of the Year. So there you go. There's all the credentials. Look, I know like softball isn't the most popular sport in the U.S., but look, guys, based on these credentials, I think it's pretty fair to say these accomplishments, these credentials, I think it's fair to say she is the greatest coach in Michigan athletics. And you know what? I'll say it. Knowing what we know about Bo Schembechler and what, the role he played in the whole Dr. Anderson thing, I honestly think they should take that statue, they should take a Mack truck to the damn thing, and then put a statue of Carol Hutchins up, the GOAT of Michigan athletics. I think she should get more celebration, if she isn't already. Like, I might be talking out my ass on this, but yeah, I think they ought to get rid of the Bo Schembechler statue. They ought to get rid of that thing anyway, but yeah, look, I'll throw the question out there one more time, and I'll leave it in your guys' hands. Is Carol Hutchins the greatest coach in Michigan athletics? And hell, where would you put her as far as like coaches in all of Michigan sports, professional, collegiate, or otherwise? I think it's fair to say she has a seat at the table as one of the greatest. I guess the last thing I'll say is best of luck to her on her retirement, and I hope it's a great one. And I Michigan will definitely miss her. I mean, it just amazed me, like I looked this up, I'm like, dude, this blows my mind. How, like, funny thing is like, I remember watching, I think they made the College World Series in like 2014 or something. They played against Florida and they ended up losing. I remember being so bummed out for him, and mind you, I didn't watch a whole lot of softball. I still don't. I was a baseball player in high school, so maybe that's kind of where the interest came from a little bit. But yeah, I didn't even mention that she took Michigan to another college World Series. So yeah, I think for sure the greatest greatest coach in Michigan athletics. I think she should have a statue if she doesn't already. And yeah, I'm gonna throw it to you guys. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree? Uh, there you go. Whatever you have to say, throw it in the comment section below. And yeah, that's about all I have for you guys today. This one was kind of a short one. I kind of wanted to get on here, quickly talk about, do a little Michigan football rap, and uh, finally talk some positive stuff about Michigan for once. And yeah, I just thought I'd get a podcast out there for you guys. I had a little bit of things to talk about, so there we go. Go ahead, go nuts in the comment section below. I'll throw out the questions one more time. As far as Michigan football goes, what's your thoughts on the quarterback duel? Do you agree with me that Harbaugh to this point hasn't handled it all that greatly, or do you disagree? If you disagree with me, throw it in the comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. As far as the Pats go, are you guys concerned at all about their offense? A little bit. I do have my concerns, but I do think overall they'll be okay. Yeah, is Carol Hutchins the greatest coach in Michigan athletics and/or all of Michigan sports? Whatever your thoughts are, throw them in the comment section below. Let's get a conversation going about this. Thank you so much for listening. I really do appreciate it, guys. And I recently just made a TeePublic store. So definitely check that out. That's actually where I've been posting my more recent artwork. So yeah, definitely check that out. Maybe buy some merch while you're there. It certainly helps me out. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go now. And until next time, I'm Justin Crumley saying, stay awesome. If you enjoyed this video from CuJo Productions, please consider subscribing, check out my Redbubble page for all my merch, and hit the bell icon so that you're notified for every time I upload a video. As always, stay awesome, guys.